Hamjambo na sauti, karibuni tena to another exciting episode of this particular podcast, The Voice KE. Karibuni sana manze wana sauti, mimi nawapenda tena zaidi manze. Asanteni sana. Our first episode is already out manze with Eric Ambuche. He talked amazingly and broadly about education and na watoto wa Mukuru kwenda shule, you know. Sisi manze watu hii, they are not something that we are supposed to be debating about. They are going to school. That is something that they are supposed to be given from birth. Yani mtoto ako shule, ako na hiyo right ya kwenda shule from literally from birth. And these are some of the things ambazo manze my guest mwenye tuko naye leo manze ana defend hii town manze, ana push manze, na amekuwa very vocal in these streets manze, not only manze in terms of speaking but in terms of also manze kuchukua babango juu na kutembea nazo huku town. Amebebwa na makarao mara kadhaa. Yani yeye na Mariamu wako hivi manze. Is none other than the human defender and the activist, the one and only Mr. Julius Kamau.
yeah.
Ujambo brother, how are you manze?
I'm fine bro.
Manze, asante sana manze kwa kuweza kufika studioni zetu manze. Manze, this is podcasting. Are you familiar with podcasting?
No, not very familiar. But we'll get by as we continue.
Podcasting is all about conversations. We're here to hold about conversations.
Okay.
And this is something I know as human rights defenders, nyinyi mnakuaga yani we are so passionate about. We are always talking about speaking out. Ongeeni, msiogope. Why are you so passionate about telling people to speak out na waweze kujiongelelea, sikubali kufinyangwa pale nje?
Thank you so much. Once again, mini Julius, mini introduce, mini activists, and I've been fighting for change in this country. In fact, I believe tunafaa kupigania change mpaka tuione until we bring the system down. Because kama hivyo umesema, umeongea about a guy alikuwa huku Eric Ambuche, anaongelea about watoto waende shule. Kitu education is something very basic. Na katiba iko very very clear. Basic needs. First we start with food, shelter and clothing. Katiba inasema kila Mkenya ana right. It's a right. So kila Mkenya anafaa kuwa na hiyo. But the problem is our constitution is so good, but as kama mtu mmoja alivyosema, we have constitution but we do not have constitutionalism. Hiyo ndio shida tuko nayo.
So what you're saying is that now people should be vocal because it is something that is in their constitution. But don't you think Kenyans aware of this particular rights, ama do they have to be informed, or do you think the problem is because mtu hawezi ongelelea kitu ambacho hajui?
I think ile kitu iko watu wanajua, but the problem is ile kitu najua hii system, these people have been around for so long. I mean our leaders wamekalia kiti mpaka wametuzoea. I mean they don't care about what happens, and this is not right in any society. Watu wanakaa kwa uongozi for many years, watu wanazaliwa, unakuwa mzee, unapata wale watu ulipata wakiwa leaders, they're the same people in power. These people are totally bereft of new ideas. They don't have any fresh ideas. So tupiganie sisi tuingie kwa hizo table making decisions. That's the only way we shall be able to have this country and really enjoy the fruits of independence zenye mababu zetu walipigania.
Talking about independence and be able to be vocal and be able to get out there and be able to speak. We saw recently nasi recently peke yake, so many times we have seen you ukishikwa. But I want to speak about this particular incidents that happened in Uhuru Gardens, because I hear you talking about they are the same people who have been there, they're the same people who have been there. We see our president ni mtu yani anajiita kijana quote unquote, unanielewa? And we have to have leaders who are continue wengine wanatoka, wengine wakiingia. For him he's like the fourth generation. So what was in your mind when you decided to go now in Uhuru Gardens and be able to go with that sticker? What was in your mind when you waking up that particular morning?
So my idea was ama ile kitu ilikuwa ni drive hapo, tunafaa ku face our leaders. We must face them, and we must also teach our people that criticism is good, and we must encourage criticism, because our leaders wamekuwa watu hawapendi kukua criticized. Na society yote ambayo watu hawapendi kuwa criticized, it cannot change, it cannot develop. We don't really remain stuck in one place for I don't know how long. So
for you are going to critic during going to Uhuru Gardens. Were you hoping to be given a platform to be able to speak, or what were your hopes when you were going to Uhuru Gardens?
Yeah, I thought in a normal society, I would have been given a chance to speak out, because I was unarmed, I was peaceful, and I was just trying to air my views, and every person has got a right to air their grievances. But now we have a problem here. We have leaders who are protected by the police, and these leaders are criminals. They messed up with this country, but they are protected by police using taxpayers' money. But the people, the youths down here, those who commit petty crimes are in jail, and so imekuwa sheria hapa inakata pande ya maskini, inafinyilia maskini sana, lakini when it comes to the rich, they get away with almost everything.
Yeah. So when you say they're getting away with everything, we know you are saying in terms of money.
And in terms of the criminal justice system, hakuna mtu anakuwa prosecuted, hakuna mtu anapelekwa mahali, they're like wanaweza fanya anything and get away with it. Hiyo ndio shida tuko nayo.
But you still have faith in now in the court system when you say that they are getting away with everything? Because now at the end of the day, like when you are arrested in Uhuru Gardens, you have to go to court, isn't it?
Yeah.
We are seeing the president recently, anaongea mambo ya court, anasema ni mbaya, na court imemwokoa in so many ways. Do you still have faith in the judicial system?
I don't have any faith. As long as ile system tuko nayo ni ile sina faith na system. Cause the other day tulikuwa tunaongea na mtu fulani, na akaniambia, unaona hii katiba tumeleta, the katiba ya 2010, it was so good. In fact, wanasemanga Kenya has the most progressive constitution in the world. But then that's just about that, just the wording and all that, but it is not what the paper it is written on. Kwa sababu there's no will to implement these things. Kama sasa kuna a very comprehensive bill of rights yenye inaongea about the rights of every person, kama to access to food, I mean basic necessities like food, shelter and clothing. But when you go to the ground, it's not like that. People are suffering.
The sovereign power belongs to the people. The power is not with the people are there sometimes.
So when you go out there, the majority of the people are poor. Majority of the people are suffering, they are struggling. Kuna watu wengi sana kwa streets, wanalala kwa streets. They don't have a place to call home. Lakini katiba inasema kila mtu anafaa kuwa na your rights. But this happening because we have refused, there's no accountability in this country. And that is what we must push this time around, for accountability.
Yes. So you're talking, first of all, before I want to ask you two questions. One about that when you're saying that every person has the right to somewhere to shelter. And the other one you talked about is about the system. Let me first of all touch about the system. You're saying that we have a very good constitution, which is the 2010 constitution, but the people who are implementing the constitution is the trouble. So what is your call for that? Do you want now kuanzia pale juu you're able to remove everybody kwa sisi mpaka chini tuweke wapya, ama what would be your recommendations? Because now you are saying we have a good document but the leaders are the problem.
I think this takes us back to what happened, or rather what happened back in 1963, because we have to know our true history. And if we don't know our history, there's no way we can be able to liberate ourselves. There's no way we can be able to see that we are being taken for a ride. There's no way we shall be able to see that these people are taking advantage of the ignorance of the masses. Na hiyo ndio shida tuko nayo. So I think unless we look at what happened in 1963, we address all the historical injustices committed from 1963, hakuna kitu tutakuwa tunafanya. We should be fighting but not achieving anything.
Would you recommend not taking everybody from in the system and putting new people, or what would you prefer to have now stricter measures that would be able to put those people who are on these tiers or these particular positions to account?
Okay, I think kuna mtu alisema a revolution, a revolt is a kind of change that only merely changes the people, but a revolution is a change that changes the institutions and the system and also the people. I think this is what we need, a revolution. We must come to see this, because our watu wamekuwa in power for all this long. These people have been representing a tribal agenda. Wale watu wamekuwa wakikuja in power in this country, they all the time in their campaign manifestos wana invoking tribal tensions and tribal emotions ndo wa get into power. And it's the same thing with the former president Uhuru Kenyatta. Hakuna kitu character Uhuru alikuwa nayo ati ya kuwa president wa Kenya. No, he only invoked tribal emotions and tribal whatever. So unless we deal with the root cause, that is tribalism, why are we still divided all these years after independence? Hatutaipata any change. Now these people are taking advantage of us. Kama ukiangalia Uhuru anajaribu like he's trying to influence things na ako out of power. Anasema ati atatetea watu, the suffering people of Mount Kenya. Kama mimi nikiulizwa if he is really genuine about what he is saying, wacha warudishe zile vitu familia yao na yeye na binafsi na familia yao wamechukua kutoka kwa nchi ya Kenya. The land and all the resources they have stolen from Kenyans, let them return that, then maybe other leaders will follow suit. But unless we do that, the whole system is rotten. Hatutakuwa tuki enjoywa every time. Watu wetu wanakuwa taken advantage of. But the masses, the youth, will never get anything out of the same system as it is today.
There is always this particular banner you love carrying around, which is written "Poverty is man-made." And I've seen with you, yani almost kila mahali. You unaipenda sana. There is that one and neo-colonialism.
Colonialism never really ended.
Never really ended. Those are your two favorite banners to carry.
Yeah.
Why these two? Why these two?
Yeah, I'll talk about them. When I started writing that and coming out and showing Kenyans that and speaking and trying to open the minds of Kenyans, mimi niko nafikiria watu follow suit, because I think the message carries a lot of information in itself. And it is self-explanatory in itself. Na mimi niko nafikiria wale watu wataona wenyewe wa join waseme, hey, we want to be part of this. They get angry the way I was angry and I'm angry at that or with that, because hiyo kitu moja nimerealize, hakuna kitu change in 1963. That is why we are still having problems. Hakuna kitu ilibadilika. Ile kitu ilibadilika is just the color of the skin. But the system of colonialism continued just the way it was. In fact, the departing colonialists really said that we bequeathed upon Africans the same system, white system, walikuwa wanatumia to humiliate our fathers in our own land. That's it. Hakuna kitu ilibadilika. So we are still being colonized. Na sisi wa Afrika tumekuwa even better to colonize our people, ama worse colonizing our people than even the white men. Tumekuwa yani society yetu ndio maana iko na violence, because our politics has never been about issues. Never. It has always been about individuals. And that is nonsense.
That is nonsense. So, Julius, yes, you are talking about now the poverty, the new colonialism. You're saying that the system is messed up. You only have white people in black skin. That's talking about. And you're saying that the system is messed up. Do you think now it's about time Kenyans form their own system?
Yeah, I believe it's time. I believe we must start believing that we can do
you
that.
Think we have like the necessary resources and everything that is meant to start now the new system?
I don't think we need resources. To bring change, we don't need resources. What we need is to wake up and wake up others, those who are sleeping. We need to teach our people. It's Gogo Wadiongo who said that the black man has been mentally enslaved by Western norms at the expense of his own consciousness. And this has left him disoriented and alienated from his reality. And so the work that we must do, the literature that we must teach and write, is the literature of is the work of critical reconstruction. That is Goge Wadiongo who said that. So it all comes down to the black man has never been free. Mentally, we have never been free. We were given private independence, but we are still being colonized. Mentally, we are still being colonized. That is why you see the problems we are having, like the whatever that the president is trying to push for the people of Kenya. Hizi mingi zinakuanga zikipushiwa na IMF and World Bank. These are the people who are controlling our economy.
Yeah, because definitely the bank, we all almost a debt of 10.5 trillion and around staggering debt in the country, and that debt is mostly provided by IMF. We have like in a Eurobond. How do you think you can be able now to become Kenya, Africa? Not even Kenya, Africa itself has a lot of resources, but we are not able to depend on these particular resources. Do you think that Kenya can be able to survive without this particular debt and without be able to depend on other countries for resources and they for debt and anything?
Yeah, in fact, if we are really in control of our resources, as I said, Kenya is very rich. In fact, Africa is very rich, gifted with minerals, the land, good climate and soils and all that. But one thing you must look at it this way, like the issue of land is a very sensitive issue. But nobody wants to talk about that because people cannot be people if they don't have land. They're just whatever. They are just so the issue of land, people cannot develop, they cannot prosper when they don't have land. In fact, ukiangalia hapa Nairobi, there's this problem of rural urban migration. And when we come to this city, now it's overcrowded right now. I mean, we are crowded together like sanguines, you see. That's why we have slums developing everywhere. In fact, almost 80% of people in Nairobi are living in slums or informal settlements. And why is this? It's because of the issue of land. Because the land that our fathers were fighting for never reverted to the rightful owners or to the Africans. It reverted into the hands of the home guards, the people who are fighting on the side of the white man. These were the traitors of our people's freedom. So that's why I'm saying we are not free. If you look also into the issue of land, Africa has got the most mass of uncultivated land. I mean, that is unused. It's like idle, but people are dying of hunger. People are suffering. I mean, they are doing many jobs here in the city. Like you see in the industry area, most of our people are employed there, and they are not paid livable wages. They are paid peanuts. These are the majority. While we have so much land that is unused. Why?
Do you think that the society has become now a man-to-man society rather than a communal society, that of which now is what you are fighting for?
In fact, we are not a society. We are a no society where everything goes. Anybody can do what he wants. I mean, people are abusing power to oppress the poor people because they don't have a voice. They don't know their rights. Somebody said one of the ways that people lose their power is by not knowing that they have any. Kenyans are helpless because they don't know they have power. They don't know that they are able. They can be able to overthrow the system and change the system and bring new leaders who are concerned about them. Leaders who are concerned about the interests of their people, but not the interests of the Western nations, their imperial masters.
What makes a good leader according to you? This now all this in mind.
A good leader is a person who is not concerned with self-enriching themselves at the expense of the people. A good leader has got to see that getting rich at the expense of the people is immoral. It's evil, because you cannot have a society where many minority are living lavish lifestyles at the expense of the majority. And this money is our money. It's not their money. It's our money. They get it through unfair means, through corruption. Corruption has made us slaves in our own country. If you can start thinking about the damage that corruption has done to our people, corruption has done to this country, we can get very angry. Yeah, we are poor because of corruption, not because we are lazy. No.
Yeah.
We are poor, and this mindset must now change. We must stop believing that rich people are rich because they are smart. That is nonsense that we've been taught by the system. they are rich because they are thieves, they are criminals, they are thugs. They abuse power to take what belongs to the people. This is a mindset that must change, and our people must come out and support this, and we must drive this narrative until our people come out and fight for real change.
What do you think what do you think it will take now Kenyans and the people to realize, to get this realization that now you yourself have?
I think we have got to pass this information to other people. And I think this is what used to happen in the African society of the past. There was this, our fathers used to talk orally with one another. The way we are talking with you, the way we are conversing with you.
Having a conversation.
We're having a conversation. But let us be serious also about these things. Let's not just talk and then go back home and continue the same system. Or the same routine. No, we must break out of the routine. We must say that we really want to see things moving. And if they cannot move, let us get these leaders out of power. Like the issue of Haiti. I can talk about the issue of Haiti.
You can mention it for a few minutes because you have now
Okay. The same conditions that have made Haiti to be what it is the same conditions that they have set for us here in Kenya. They have put for us. Because it's all about some people, minority, taking advantage of the majority. And I think the people of Haiti, I think what they are doing is right. They have pushed elected leaders out of power and out of the country. And I think this is going to happen unless we have a conversation that will save this country from these corrupt people.
But the country right now, Haiti, is a mess. Now we get rid of our leaders. Isn't there now a fear that now people are going to go here and you are going to become a country of chaos?
Yeah. But then it has become a country of chaos. But who is responsible? It is the leaders who are in power because they are corrupt. There's one man, Frederick Douglass, who said that where poverty is enforced, justice is denied, and ignorance prevails. In a certain section of population feels that society is an organized conspiracy to rob, degrade, and humiliate them, then neither persons nor property will be safe. I'm saying this is a conversation that we must have. Are these people what they have? Did they get it in a right way? We must ask these questions. And if they don't get in the right way, we must get angry and say, no, enough is enough. Let's talk about this. Let's open the wood and find a way to heal it. The problem with us is that we refuse to address the root cause of our problems. That's the problem we have. And the root cause of our problems is that we have a system called capitalism, which is the same as colonialism, which is the same as slavery. So we are still in slavery. We are still slaves.
Now when you talk about colonialism, that's a very wide subject that you're going to be talking about. And as we have agreed now, this is not even the first time that you're going to be holding this conversation on this particular platform. You have agreed that you're going to be our regular visitor. And because of time now, we have now to close up that conversation for today. But thank you so much for being able to for showing up. And whatever I've learned from you today is that now we have to break from the system. If you don't be able to break from the system, we are going to be tutafinyiliwa. Some Kenyans, they are aware of what maybe is going on, and right now we are seeing a lot of Kenyans, they are coming out.
Exactly.
Is this something that you are hoping for? Are you seeing like your efforts are they going to the right direction?
What I see is like people are waking up. Like I've been looking at the TikTok and all the conversations that are ongoing there. People are waking up. They are talking about things that have never been talked about, that were not being talked about before. I mean, they're kind of like they are erupting. But now the problem is how we shall bring this information together, how we shall bring these people together, because we need a catalyst. A catalyst is what we need so that it can be able to bring the revolution that we've been so much waiting for. It's the unfinished revolution that our fathers were carrying out. Remember, the blood of the innocent cries forever, and this is very serious. The blood of our fathers is still crying out to us. So we must wake up and do justice to our country, to the blood of our fathers, and to posterity.
Yes.
This is what we must do.
Thank you, Julius. Let me tell us your last word, your call for action for today. What is your now call for action?
What I'm saying is, let us not look at things and become comfortable. Let us become uncomfortable. Let us feel that we can do something. Let us become active citizens. In countries where people ask questions and confront their leaders, this gets moving. There are countries where things are going on well, like Norway, other Scandinavian countries. But here, our leaders steal billions of money, but there's nobody cares about that. I mean, it's like something normal. We have normalized corruption.
Yeah, like the 2 billion of the 2 billion for the Eurobond, which was really copper, it never got into our banks, the Kenyan bank. Haikufika, but IMF inasema that we have to pay this debt by due. And this is what Julius is talking about. We have to talk. We have to keep these conversations going. We have to communicate. And that's why Wanasauti manze, me I want to thank you for always being with us manze. And Julius nakutambua kama Wanasauti because for always speaking out and for always putting your voice out there, and that is what we are supposed to do. And thank you for guys for making sure that you're joining us every Sunday for this particular podcast manze. Make sure that you hit that subscription button and make sure that you follow Julius Kamau on your platform, which is on your Twitter, unajita
Julius Kamau 21.
Julius Kamau 21 on your Instagram, I'm on Instagram.
But I'm working on that.
Yeah, go check out what he's doing on his Twitter. He's amazing. Utaona kazi zake manze, and we continue this conversation going manze. And from me here, sadly, I have to say manze, adios muchachos, tunawapenda sana. Thank you so much. Tunaona, tunasikia na tutabonga. The voice